Wow.
Wow, this is some really deep stuff.
I don't know what just happened, but something happened inside of me. Something snapped. Something.
I wasn't expecting that
either. Sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. It's beautiful.
Monster is like really small, but it had to become that to stop me.
Because then the hurt child became present when you mentioned it.
And I didn't realize this until now.
There were things that I didn't remember until now.
It's funny. I haven't seen that before.
It feels like I'm the monster. I'm kind of seeing images of things. Of a world where they can exist. This clarity brings all kinds of answers.
It's clear. She hugged me and then went back to her place, I guess, in my heart. Oh, it wants to come out. It wants to bippity boppity boop Cinderella me. She's melted into my chest. It's ooey gooey.
All week been finishing things, cleaning up more, started eating vegetables again last week. And it kind of just started happening. It's almost like I just finished going through a meditation session.
I feel light. When you hit that first joint, in the morning, and
I actually feel a lot more awake.
Okay. So I'll start by asking you to think about a part of yourself that you'd like to get to know better or change your relationship with, or any issue that you'd like to explore, anything that's getting in your way.
Okay, there are many. Let's start with one. I want to explore the part of myself that rejects my parents. I actively reject them. I've had that since I can, not since I can remember. That's a lie. Since I've been well aware of myself, conscious adult.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I rejected them. I don't like spending time with them. I don't like engaging in much conversation with them. I don't trust them. And I want to. There's a part of me, I feel like there's another part of me that's like a little child that wants to be near their parents, but there's this other part of me that's always stopping her and always telling her not to.
Yeah.
And I wanna explore that a lot more, because it's a goal of mine. I really want to improve my relationship with my parents.
Okay. So that feeling of rejecting your parents, when that comes up, what does that feel like? Can you locate that in or around your body?
It feels like it's kind of warm related. It's a lot anger. A lot of it is anger in my body. It feels like I get frozen. My body gets frozen. And I just all of a sudden get kind of moody, and my defenses go up. I don't want to have anyone near me, kind of.
Yeah.
It's and it happens in a couple of seconds. It might sound like but no, it happens in a couple of seconds. I get frozen, I get moody. I usually give a response that I don't want to. And I just feel like running away from them or the situation. I usually have to convince myself to get near them and talk to them. It comes and goes. It's not always, but yes.
Okay. And when that comes up, or just right now, how do you feel towards that part?
I get emotional.
Mm-hmm.
I get emotional. I feel like I want to cry, and I get sad as well.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that part, I just want to like hug that part because it's obviously hurt. It's obviously angry, and I want to tell that part that she doesn't need to be angry anymore. That she doesn't need to be like that anymore.
Okay. You said you wanted to hug that part?
Yes.
Okay. So when that comes up, you have a part of you that wants to cry and wants to hug it, and a part that wants to tell this rejecting part that it doesn't need to do that. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So in this conversation, it's all about just exploring and learning and listening to the part. So see if you can ask the part of you that wants to change it. It sounds like there's a part of you that wants to tell this part to stop, basically.
Yes.
And see if you can ask that part of you to just step back and give us some space so that we can just get to know this part that has this rejecting feeling, and see how it reacts to that.
I actually smiled when you finished saying that.
Yeah?
Yes.
And now how are you feeling towards this rejecting part?
I'm a very visual person, so I just saw like a little child sitting down on the corner of a bed, ready to talk, kind of like, and I'm on the other side. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you're finally getting your chance to be understood.
Yeah. And how's that feel for you? Just noticing that about this part.
That I've always wanted to go against it, but I've never really. I mean, I think I know. I mean, I'm well aware why that part exists. I'm well aware why it's there, but I've always wanted to ask that part, like, just grow up
Yeah.
and let it go. But I've never really given that part a chance to heal
Yeah.
and to speak up.
And so you're ready to do that?
Yes, I would
Okay.
love to.
Great. So see if you can just let the part know that you want to hear from it, that you're curious about it. Just see how it reacts to that.
Feels I'm actually crying, so I feel like that part is crying. Like, hey, thank you. You're finally gonna let me talk.
Yeah.
So I feel um
Feels like good tears.
yeah, yeah, it feels good.
Yeah. And you're okay with that feeling. It's not overwhelming you or anything.
No, right now. It's not a crying like when you can't stop or when you're
Right.
feeling like too emotional. It's
Mhm.
actually, I think it's just like necessary.
Yeah. So just try asking this part what it wants you to know, what it wants you to know about it.
That she just wants to feel loved, accepted, cared for, listened to, important. Mostly, I think that's the highlight of it. That part wants to feel valuable and important.
Yeah.
And it's been years since she feels like that.
Yeah. And how are you feeling when you learn that about it?
That just makes sense with
Great.
with the way I've behaved
Yeah.
and thought of myself my whole life.
Yeah, so let her know that that makes sense to you. And just so I'm clear, this is the part that feels the rejecting, that has the rejecting energy around your parents?
Yes.
Okay. You could try asking what this part is afraid would happen if it didn't push back, if it didn't have that, if it didn't get your attention that way, in that uncomfortable way, and have that rejecting feeling.
Well, what she's afraid is going to happen is that she'll reach out looking for something that she won't find. So she just stopped looking for that.
Mm. And if it's okay with you, and you don't have to share any of this with me, but you could kind of ask deeper, or what's behind that fear, or what would be so bad about that? What would that mean to reach out and not have it returned?
It's a reminder that she can't find this security, this love, this understanding, that she can't find this in the two people that I think she's wanted it from the most.
Yeah.
But she has kind of created she has kind of created a belief that, like, the rejection is going to, like, she has put them like in a place where she has made me believe that I don't like them, so that I reject them.
Right.
And so then it stops hurting when I can't find these two things that I've been seeking.
Yeah. Does that make sense to you?
Totally.
Yeah. Let the part know that makes sense to you, and that you see that rejection is protection. She's protecting you from the pain of not feeling loved, or all those negative feelings. See if you can show her some appreciation for wanting to keep you safe in her intention.
Okay. Okay.
How's she respond to that?
Stopped crying currently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But like my like the emotion regulated, kind of.
Yeah. You could try asking her what she would rather be doing inside of you. If you could go to this part that feels, unloved, and heal it. If you could take care of all of that, whatever it is she's trying to protect, what would she rather be doing with her energy inside of you?
Making people feel loved, the people that I love the most. Although with this, I do feel and believe like I am a loving person.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't think that has stopped me, but I do have like a defense mechanism with people that I notice is that I can be so loving with people, but then all of a sudden, and this does happen unconsciously, and I don't know when it happens or why exactly it happens, but there is a moment in the relationship that I usually shut down and push people away.
Yeah. And does it feel like that's the same part doing that?
I don't know. I might. I it popped into my head right
Mm-hmm.
now as you were saying that. So I believe there must be a reason for it.
Yeah, you can just ask her, and you can just ask if that's her, or if that's overlapping, or part of the constellation of parts that she works with. That's the same kind of intention to protect.
It's related, but I don't think it's exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
But
So when she thinks about what she'd rather be doing, and you said giving more love, you might just spend a little more time kind of envisioning that with her, and just seeing what that would look like, seeing what that would feel like for her.
actually, I just felt like that part just told me that I spent too much time giving. Like I do have a part of me that gives a lot of love, and that I shouldn't still be giving more love to myself.
Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it does.
So when you
So I
bring,
think
go
that
ahead.
I think that would be the I think that would be the answer. I think that would like to be loving me more.
Yeah. And you'd like that.
Yes, but I'm also thinking that if this part is rejecting like actively my parents in a way, I think it would also like to be receiving love from them a lot more. But I don't know if that is something possible because it's not something I can control.
Right. And what you can control is your love for this part.
Yes.
And just even in this conversation, I mean, just your communication with this part is something that you're controlling. And so, you know, I can't make any promises. You can't make any promises about what goes on in the external world necessarily, but just inside, between you and this part,
Mm-hmm.
you can kind of create an environment and a relationship that works.
Okay. Okay. Makes sense.
Try asking how old this part thinks that you are.
How old the part thinks I am, or how old do I think
Mm-hmm.
the part is?
Yeah, how old the part thinks you are. Just wait for the answer from it.
It said 9.
Okay. Just go ahead and update her on your real age. See how she reacts.
Emotional.
Mm-hmm. She's been
Yeah.
working. She's been working hard for a long time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's just a hypothesis, but it's probably around that time when this part had to really get into high gear and take over that job, do that rejecting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And by letting her know your current age, you could just let her know about the tools you have now, and including this tool of being able to talk to parts, and let her know that about your intention to learn about lots of parts and to heal them. And what does this part need from you in the future? Just ask her.
I don't know. I can't find that answer so easily.
Is there anything maybe in your relationship with her that she would like to see more of?
Yeah. I think it's acknowledging, like validating, listening to, understanding, and to stop being so critical and so harsh on it.
Yeah. You might think about ways that you could do that, or kind of like if and when this feeling comes up in the future, just kind of how you might handle it differently when the part that's critical of her comes in, how you might address it.
I think it's being more aware of why what happened. If it was a mistake, if it was a failure, if it's something didn't go as expected, like why it happened. Be kinder with the way I talk to that part. Um, mm, I think be more responsible also with. No, but I don't think that's related to it. I think that's on another. I'm having a hard time with that one.
I mean, you got a lot of answers, and they sound like good ideas to me.
You got just with this question. I don't know why I got mixed up, and I had a hard time like refocusing on that part because a lot of other parts just woof came out.
Yeah.
So I started hearing a lot of different answers, and I started to classify.
Yeah. Yeah. You can just let those parts know that you'd like to get to know all of them, and let all the parts know that you'd like to get to know them, and the way to do it is one at a time, and that you can do this process with each of them and hear their story and work on your relationship with them.
Okay.
Is there anything else you want to ask this part or do with this part while you have it here?
How, like, I would like to know how that part is going to deal with if I, like, I don't know. I don't know if the point is to get rid of it or to just give it what he needs, but if the point is to actually get closer, like, what can I do so that it doesn't feel so hard for her?
You want to just ask her that?
Yeah.
Just wait for the answer.
I get a lot of answers, but I don't know. They just feel like things I've tried,
Yeah.
but never really felt successful. So,
Okay. Well, we're definitely not going to get rid of any parts.
okay.
They all have a positive intention, just like this part wants to help you, wants to protect you. And
Okay.
I understand that other concern about, well, don't want to just give in and just, give them everything they want and be overtaken by them. So it's all about finding that compromise.
Okay.
I think the deeper work is going to that 9-year-old that this part was protecting, going to the younger parts and doing that other work of just getting to know them. And I mean, it's really a similar process, but healing them, unburdening them, bringing them into the present. And then this part can relax and not have to work so hard.
Okay. Okay.
But sometimes a good next step is just coming up with a way to kind of remind yourself about this part, whether that's putting it on the calendar or finding a kind of a ritual or some way that you're able to kind of touch in and speak more directly with this part when it's trying to get your attention. So I don't know how that might look for you, but
Could be like writing to it, like, or like listening to it through writing.
sure.
I think I get in touch with that part when I do, like, I draw. I like to draw a lot.
Yeah.
So I do feel like I get in touch with it when I do that.
You could ask it how it would feel about you checking in with it over the next few days and just would it like that, and is that something that you could do for it?
Um, Definitely liked it. A little bit of worried. It felt like a conversation between a child and a parent where I got really excited about it, but another part was disappointed in advance and saying, like, But are you gonna have enough time for that? Are you gonna have energy for that?
Mm-hmm. And what's your response to that?
That I need to make it. Like, we need to make it a time.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of these parts, they don't need hours, and especially when they've been waiting for years to communicate with you. Just
Mm,
a minute here and there is a really big change.
okay, sounds great.
Are there any other parts that are coming up that have any concerns or questions about this work?
Mm, concerns? No, not really. Um, let me see. If yeah, I think that's the the internal scientist and the one that questions everything. It's wondering if, like, realizing that these parts exist and being able to give each one of them like what they need. Does that is it going to like change the way I feel about different things when I heal them, and therefore be able to behave differently towards that? Like,
It's a good question. I mean, I'm pretty new to this, but I've really only seen positive results. It's very fast, it's very efficient, and it's just a matter of having the conversations and then being more informed, you know.
great, okay.
And I think staying with that attitude of, you know, I of not making promises that you can't keep. If your agenda is, I'm going to go give my parents a hug in an hour, that might not reflect that fast, and that might not be the decision that you make in the external world. But your relationship with the internal world can be healed, and you can just feel better about the decisions you're making because you're making them from a more informed place,
Definitely.
and you're being led by the real you, the self, that has this power and isn't stuck back in time.
Uh-huh. Okay, yeah, totally.
So you can just thank this part for showing up, for communicating with you. Thank all the other parts for giving you space, allowing you to do this.
Okay.
Do you have any other questions for me?
um I don't think I have one currently. I'm loving it. I went into it.
Yeah.
I think my parts are very eager to talk. And no, yeah, I just really loved it. Never done anything like this before. Was so curious, but like really eager to learn more, to listen more. Just about the being able to give a space to this part. I'm guessing like right now, since I'm not really used to that, I do have to kind of force myself to have those times where I listen to that part.
Yeah.
Right? It's not going to come to me naturally if I'm not really used to it.
Well, it does get your attention already. So, I mean, it is coming to you. And I guess the question is, are you going to be going to it? Are you going to be proactive in checking in with this part at a certain time or in a certain way? But even if you're not, you'll still have a different perspective on it when it shows up next time.
No, that for sure.
Yeah.
I can already see it, like whenever I have to like a family dinner or have to be on that kind of event or situation, I'm going to be listening a lot more. Although I don't know if that is the time to listen. That is a question. It should be a time aside from triggers for my part, or it can also be while it's being triggered, because I feel it's going to be the loudest.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the healingest way is to make some time for it. Like I said, I mean, a minute, really. Just a certain time of day or a certain set of reminder on your phone, or just to let it know that you're not forgetting about it.
Okay.
Ask it what's up, how it's doing.
Okay, great. Sounds great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna use art to work it up a little more. Like I would love to. Yeah.
It's great. And if you want to call me and do this again sometime, I'd love to. Up to you.
What?
If you want to call me and do this again sometime, I would love to. If not, that's fine too.
Oh yeah, I would definitely be getting in touch with you.
Okay.
Yeah, you're also. I feel like I'm also learning so much. So I really appreciate it, James. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing.
Thanks for listening.
Okay. I hope you have a good night.
You too.
Nice meeting you and talking with you today.
Yeah, it was great. Thank you. And don't worry, you can use this as it suits you best. Sure, other people are learning from it as well. And also, what is your podcast so I can listen and learn more?
It's called Live IFS. And you can find it at liveifs.com.
Okay, great. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Have a great night, and I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, goodbye.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Do you want to help bring more self-energy to the world? If you'd like to participate in calls or help out with this project in any way, I'd love to hear your ideas. Join the Discord server or contact me at james@liveifs.com. A huge thanks to our audio engineer, Yvonne, for your care and diligence in editing the calls. To every caller for your courage in sharing some of your parts. And to anyone out there getting to know their internal system, keep going. Who knows, that might be the most selfless, helpful thing you can do for others, and you're the only one who can do it. If you'd like to see us reach the largest audience, we must please the almighty suggestion algorithms at iTunes and YouTube. And they don't care about the power of IFS. They're looking for likes and shares and comments, and the sooner the better. Follow the links in the show notes right here in your podcast player to make your wishes known. And now, a minute of meditation. Or if you prefer, pull over. You can do it in 60 seconds. Just click one of those links. They're right there, and give us a like or a 5-star rating. It would really help. If you think this project is helping people, you're helping people by sharing it. Thank you.